Games actually on here tonight. We've had one already in our Legends game in between the first and second matches. Damien Cronks and Daniel Holland from the Newbridge Footy Club just outside of Bendigo were part of this Legends match. Their footy club was being completely washed out. There'll be no home games at Newbridge this year. They'll have to play away because of the floods. Nick, great to have you with us, mate. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Sorry, mate. How could I forget you?
Well, it's been a long summer.
It has. It's going to be a long night, actually. Hey, Nick, tell us a little bit about a couple of the new guys. Now, I know Crocker's playing and Cripps are playing in this game. I had a look at those a moment ago. I mean, they're going to inject something into this team, I'd imagine. Yeah,
absolutely. It's very exciting for the St Kilda faithful to come along tonight. And there's, I think, 8 first-game players for the club tonight, so that's exciting. That's what you want to see on the back of a couple of years of pretty strong performance, some kids coming through and pushing for selection.
And Nick, am I right in saying that you actually haven't played a practice match before tonight's match?
Not at all. Actually, some of the boys were talking in the room before the game about the prospect of getting tackled, where we haven't done too much actual scratch match type work, so this is going to be it. But mind you, we've got 4 opportunities at it before the season proper, and as we all know, the season's long enough as it is.
And Nick, what about the Irishman? I think he's probably one of your full-backs tonight, Tommy Walsh, as the toss of the coin's about to take place. Brendan Goddard and Daniel Merritt. Goddard's got a pretty severe hairdo there, but we might just get the toss, Nick, and then I'll ask you about Walshy. Here we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tails. It's ahead. Sorry, mate.
Got a very strong heritage coming across from Ireland, and yeah, he's had a couple really strong pre-seasons now, 2 under his belt, and very excited to see how he goes tonight. He'll be starting down back, and done a lot of one-on-one work with him over the pre-season, and he's very strong, very quick, very competitive. So look out.
Yeah, played with Tadhg Kennelly in that winning grand final in the game. Hey Nick, thanks so much for that. Look forward to seeing you out on the field, mate.
That they have to work through how they best use their available talent.
Staker short, Patfull waited for a good mark by Patfull. Then Patfull along the boundary line. Oh, lovely grab back Clark. Over the top. Ralph Clark, who's had a pretty good pre-season. Big things expected of him this year.
Walsh, the Irishman, gives a hand pass away to Fisher. Fisher looping hand pass back. Great contest, found it on the ground. That is a lot of meat to move. Advantages played, and breaking away around the outer side is Rains.
Goes to a contest. Walsh did pretty well at the ball there, and allowed Fisher to get back, and then Fisher's kick.
Hasn't gone. That's it.
One of the stars who is Montagna goes across the ground. Dempster. Opportunity for Gwilt. Pushing up the ground is Walsh. Goes to the outer side, and Crocker. Gardy's left side. The boy not quite aware of that. Hawksley on the mark.
Cozzy as well, so there's probably that one more spot up for grabs, and it's important that one of these guys take their opportunity in the next few weeks, and Tommy certainly fits in that category.
Well, he did it just then. He did a good job, didn't he? So he's on the board, and the Saints are getting away a little bit here. It's a kick by Harwood going to fall forward. Clark the target. Gwilt, who was just so good last year. Free kick, I thought, over the top, not given. Walsh, gee, he's been good. Back to Baker, back to Graham. Montagna timed it beautifully. Almost took the mark on the up. McAvoy, terrific. Good hands coming in. Half a dozen they recruited last year. Got injured, played fair bit of the first half of the year, not so much of the second half. Big fly, Staker, but he never really got into it. It was Clark, actually, but McAvoy took an easy mark in the end.
Really looking forward to seeing McAvoy develop. Stephen King's obviously moved on. He's playing a ruck coach role now. Gardner's getting a bit long in the tooth. They really need a younger ruckman to step up for them.
Because Gardner went overseas to have an op, and back he's come, so he was the big injury, wasn't he, out of the first grand final last year with McAvoy coming in. His link
was a great player at Essendon, and his twin brother is a very good player at West Perth. It's not bad pedigree as the ball goes over the wing, off hands, close to the boundary line. Walsh goes to Archer. 2 big hombres. Down goes McGrath. Ball just trickles out the back there. And Simpkin taken across the boundary line. I think that's a long ball. He's been doing it towards support. This is Beams, the youngsters combining. Awkward half volley though, coming through Beams once more. But eventually it comes unglued across half forward. Fisher goes looking for Archer. Is it in the back? It's going to be a free kick to the Saints. They take advantage immediately. Running up the ground is...
We're really happy with him. He looked really good, and Big Sauce Merritt gave you that little bit more structure down back there.
Yeah, look, we had to change lanes. We put Daniel Rich to a back line to use a better kicker down there, and we changed lanes because...
Change Gates inside the forward 50. McAvoy growing in stature. Drops back and takes the mark. Breaking for him is Walsh. He's been handy tonight. The Irishman prances away. Chips towards half-back. McWalter to centre field. Too tall for Graham. I think he may have been called out of it anyway by Ledger. Ledger swings around, and that's a beautiful kick. Gamble's got it. Runner outside. Gives it to Montagna. Montagna long. Stanton will need to go off hands. Leading back in the race. I think it's the big guy. Socketed off the ground and gets the goal. Johnson put it through. We talked about his kicking earlier. That was a safe bet.
The vision out wide to Cranmer. He's a left footer. Goes on the right. He's a left footer. But he's been good, hasn't he? I mean, a rookie list youngster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Found the footy in the difficult part of the ground to find it.
He's 98 kilos and he whacks a wallop, doesn't he?
Well, there's a bit of a whisper out of the Essendon camp. They see a little bit of similarity between a Max Rook type. Off the rookie list, big body.
Well, that's a compliment.
Big rat.
Lenny, we're going back to you. Lenny Hayes, just got the feeling that the Bombers have got a sniff here. Are you thinking the same thing sitting up there?
Yeah, it seems like they've been on top, you know, the first part of this last quarter, Bruce. So hopefully we can just win it out of the middle and give our forwards a chance.
And who from St Kilda so far, Lenny, have you felt done a really good job tonight?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with a lot of the guys. But I think Tom Ledger, first-year player, has been really good. And I think Ralph Clark and Tommy Walsh down back have been really good too.
Yeah, no, they've made a real impression. There's no doubt about that. Walsh has been so steady, hasn't he? He's got a bit of surety about him. So the Bombers pressing hard here.
I reckon if you're a young, I was going to say, I reckon if you're a young player getting a rap from Lenny Hayes about your hardness, that'd be a big fill up in your confidence.
Sets a high standard. Yeah.
The shift his opponent, taken by Brown. High ball inside the 50. Hurley will go from behind. Got his fingertips to it. Couldn't hang on. Clark got a hand pass out of there. McWalter left it behind. Well done by the big guy Walsh. Hayne gave a hand pass to McAvoy. Once again, Brown in the fray. Snaps. This for the lead. No, goes the wrong way behind.